My name is Alan Kaye. I'm an immigration lawyer. I have over 40 years experience doing immigration, naturalization, visa, and consular law. And on this edition of Immigration Questions, we have a number of topics I'd like to talk about, but the most important topic is that most of you know that there's an election coming up, and it's really important that you vote for the right person, because the present president is not helpful on immigration. He's doing everything he can to stop immigration. So if you want to, if you're in favor of immigration, you're in favor of more people immigrating and not the terrible things that the president is doing, you've got to vote. So you and your family and friends who are US citizens must get out and vote. I will help you if you don't know how to do it. If you're a US citizen and you don't know where to vote or how to vote, get in touch with me and I will help you. But make a plan to come out and vote. It's coming up soon. And recently, 90 million people at the last election did not vote. 90 million people. It's really important that you and your friends who are US citizens, your family, get out to vote. Okay, next. Important development is that there was a backlog in producing EAD, employment authorization documents. And an attorney named Rob Cohen in Ohio, who I've talked to a number of times, went to court and won. And therefore, the Immigration Service is saying, okay, we know there's been a backlog. We know we haven't been producing the cards. They closed down one of the places in Kentucky, which was producing the cards. The other place in Missouri wasn't doing a very good job. But the USCIS has said now, okay, we will produce these working cards within 5 days. Now, if that doesn't happen, Rob Cohen will go back to court and force them to go up on their word. But the logjam in producing EAD, employment authorization documents, has been broken. In the meantime, if you have a notice from immigration that says that your working card has been approved, but you don't have it yet, you can use that notice that says that the working card has been approved, and you will be able to work with that paper notice until you get the physical card. So that's very important news that this court case was successful, and Rob Cohen did a very good job, and that's going to help everybody. Next. Those of you, many of you know that the immigration fees are going up. Effective October 7th, they're going up, and they've been increased like 20% overall. And so some of the most important increases in fees is the increase in naturalization. So naturalization right now is $640 filing fee. It's going up to $1,170. That's an 83% increase. So if you're thinking of filing for naturalization, do it now, because the new fees are effective October 2nd, 2020. Now, most of these fees are increased by an average of 20%. So if you're eligible for naturalization, you were thinking of filing, you didn't file yet, get it going. File before October 2nd, 2020. There are some other big increases in naturalization and other kinds of cases. I-485 adjustment of status is also going to be increasing significantly. So if you're thinking of filing, file. If you're not sure what the fees are going to be, get in touch with me. I'll go over the fees with you, but you got to file right away. Now, public charge. There is a federal court injunction stopping USCIS in New York, in Connecticut, and Vermont from enforcing their public charge regulation, which is very, very bad. There's a form called the 944, which asks for all kinds of financial information. That's been on hold. So if you're about to file, you don't have to file the 944. You don't have to worry about public charge. If you already filed and you have an interview coming up, they won't be asking you about public charge at the interviews. This is very good news right now. The federal court has put a hold on this. And so public charge, you don't have to worry about it in New York. You don't have to worry about it in Connecticut and Vermont. Now, the public charge the court injunction on public charge also includes American consuls overseas. But there it includes American consuls everywhere, not just confined if you live in New York or Connecticut or Vermont. So the public charge doesn't apply at American consulates anywhere in the world. So if you or your relatives or your friends are going to have an interview at an American consulate, you don't have to worry about them asking you about this public charge. They may ask you just to do an affidavit of support, but that's really good news. You don't have to worry about public charge in New York. You don't have to worry about it in Connecticut and Vermont, and you don't have to worry about it at American consuls overseas. So that's really good news about the public charge. Now, immigration has proposed a furlough starting at the end of August. And what does a furlough mean? It means that 70% of their employees will stop working. Therefore, with only 30% doing cases and not the other 70%, your cases are going to take a long, long time. Now, USCIS has asked Congress for $1.3 billion, so they won't have to do the furlough, but they haven't gotten the money. They may not get the money, and therefore there might be a furlough, and therefore all of the immigration cases, naturalization cases, any kind of cases that are pending will be subject to the furlough, and everything will kind of stop almost dead. You can imagine that if 30% of your workforce is only handling cases and the other 70% is furloughed, not working, it's going to slow up everything. So we're looking at this furlough thing is very important. We're hoping that it doesn't go through, but they're slated to do it starting at the end of August. So this is some of the hot spots hot things that are going on. I'll be back next week. Let me know if you have any other topics you'd like me to cover, or if you have any questions you'd like me to answer, get in touch with me. Thank you for listening, and that's all for today.